Welcome back, my fellow makers. I've been working on the laser rifle from Akira, and here it is. I know people think, is there going to be a build video or a pattern? And the answer is no, not really, because two things happened. I'm rushing to get this done very quickly. This was built for a Kickstarter for my friend Danikia, which if you guys haven't seen my show Coffee Talk, I do a great interview with that. But she's making a documentary about the making of the amazing masterpiece animation Akira, the movie. So in the movie, there's a weapon, this laser rifle. So to help raise money, I offered to make one as a giveaway. So of course I started making it, and it's been an adventure. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk a little bit about this, what went into making it, and so that if you guys choose to make one, you find it's not that difficult, just time consuming. If you guys are ready, let's get started. All right, there she is in all her glory. This site here, again, for transportation reasons, it's hooked up with magnets. When making this is the scope. And of course, I found some really thin plastic tubes that held like candy, like those little Easter candy canes. They came in a little hook with a plastic tube. And I wanted to have something on here, like a tube, but I didn't want to use a PVC pipe out of fear of it being too heavy. So I ended up using these thin plastic tubes, and I wrapped it in 2mm and just proceed to wrap it with more 2mm foam on top of itself. Got some textured foam, make it look like a knob. Little switches. I made these little posts here, which I still haven't done yet. I'm gonna take a wood burner and burn some holes and run some wire. For the main gun, of course, again, it's just a cardboard tube wrapped in 2mm foam. That was my base. And then for the cylinder, which you can see here, that was the signature thing in the design from the animated version. I'm sorry, in the comic book version. I love this. This is like the big thing that stood out to me is the cylinder. I just love the comic book one so much. So I stuck more with that design. For the handle, I knew this was going to be thicker, so I ended up doing this with 1-inch. This is just 1-inch foam glued and stuck on. This is 3mm and then 2mm. And then for the back here, 6mm for the guard. And then back here was this piece kind of rounded off. So I went ahead and cut 1-inch and then just rounded it off and then glued it on and cleaned up the edge with 2mm foam. This is a foam dowel again for the switch in the back. Cut that, wrapped it with some textured foam. And this little thing here is, again, another piece of 1-inch I cut to fit. This is 1-inch with 8mm. Then I wanted to match the width of this foam dowel here as well. This is kind of like a lens. And the same thing, this is going to get a cast piece that goes on the top as well. And of course, with the seams, I did a little gap filler, patched it all up. But for the inside, I left this, you can see the cardboard. I want to have a barrel in here. So I went ahead and took the circle cutter, cut some pieces of foam out. This drops in like this. There it goes, like that. Now, I'm going to, when I seal this, I'm not going to have this in here. I'm going to keep this out because I want to get everything sealed first. I'm going to seal this and seal this separately. And once everything dries and painted, I'm going to take one of these clear domes. I got a Christmas ornament here. I'm going to put that back in here. I'm going to go kind of take this guy, cut it down a little bit, put some black on it and make this look like the laser lens, right? That'll look cool. All right, that's the rifle. So let me show you the battery pack. Then here is just the battery pack. In the movie, the giant laser is fueled by a battery pack and has a strap that runs through. Strap hookups were strong enough to hold the strapping. So what I did was I made them out of foam first, then took a wood burner and burned a trench in behind them, then bent some baling wire and fit them inside here, glued them in with super glue, and then glued them up with contact cement, and then pushed the wires into the foam and let them dry. So now they're super secure. They're not coming out. And then this is the hole for the, of course, there's a magnet swing. So you go, boop. This is going to be for the cord is going to come off the laser rifle. Probably what I need to do next is figure out how I'm going to drop some detail in here too as well. I'm going to leave this here for the keypad, but there's some paneling and things in here. I'm probably going to do the same thing. We're kind of figure out something and do a couple panels. Now, when sealing, I realized too, this is removable. We're going to seal this stuff with creature cast rubber. For this guy here too, I know how difficult this is going to be, so I've decided I'm going to handle on this. When you have something like this and you're going to spray creature cast and stuff all over, especially even when you're painting, you need something to hold on to. And I realized that once I'm all done, this thing snaps in like that, and you don't even see anything back here. So right back in here is where I'm going to glue it. So this guy up. That's it. Now again, you can hold it, and then when you're done, you can clamp it. So when it dries, and when you're done, you just go right back in with some thinner. It takes this right off. We have the handles glue up. These guys are small enough that I'm actually going to spray these insides. I'm going to take these over to the spray booth and seal these guys with creature cast rubber. So of course I'm going to be loading this gun up. This is the liquid neoprene rubber creature cast. I love for sealing props. But before we do that, we're going to seal these inside the house. But I'm going to take the and I want to make sure that I made this piece of foam with a hole in it like this. We're going to stuff into the barrel. I'll just show you guys what I'm doing here like this. So the reason I'm doing this is so when I put this onto the pole will stay center and not go to either side, touching the edges to interfere with my sealing. So I want to be able to seal it all evenly in the inside of the ring and the outside. Because we have the rings that go inside, these guys, but they're going to be sealed and painted separately to drop in because we have to put a little bit of a lens in here. And then once we put that in, we're not going to be able to do that. So I have to seal these guys separately. So we're going to do that now. So let's go ahead and seal these guys first. All right, there it is. It's all sealed with creature cast rubber. Had day to dry versus the site. I still have the handle on here because we're going to paint it. That is our next step. But as you can see right here, I put some masking tape. These are for the knobs. I do have some cast parts I've had for years. It's amazing what I haven't thrown away. Yeah, I have a whole bunch of cast parts that I'm going to glue on, but I always found that when you're gluing things down, always to glue onto the surface itself, not if you start painting things and gluing on, it's just going to pop off. So I'm always trying to tape off areas I know I'm going to glue something down. For example, I went out and got these cheap little calculators. I'm going to underneath the site, there's like a keypad here on the back here. You guys can see it's some tooling when I use the rotary tool. It still gets some grooves in it. And if you paint this a metallic color, it's going to show. So I want to fill this in, and I have some rapid fill. So I'm going to take some rapid fill and a brush. I love this product. How it works, it's like a little bit of a filler. What I have to do is brush this on pretty heavy, and it goes in the cracks and crevices. And I got a good coat on there. I'm going to let this dry. The rapid fill is all dry. I got my 400 grit sanding sponge. We're just going to smooth it down. Fantastic. See, look at that. So much better. Nice and smooth. The one thing about this stuff is great when you fill it in, but the next stage after this, all the patch work is done. I got my tape down. Before I paint this, this is still very porous. So when you spray paint on it, it's going to suck up the paint and it's going to change the surface. So it's going to look different between this and this. So to prevent that from happening, I got some Mod Podge. We're just going to do a real thin coat. All right, there you go. Excellent. Now, of course, you see these are the, I got these masked off, and these are for the knobs. They're going to go on later. Of course, these are parts I need to mask off still. I have this piece. I like, it's a little bit of a busy detail piece here. And I'm going to glue that on right here. Now, for the spot right here, of course, I said, got one of these calculators, and I took it apart, painted it, and it's going to get glued in here. Not paint on this, so I'm going to get some masking tape. I'm going to make a template, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. And then we're going to line this guy on top. Get a Sharpie, and trace it. All right. And now with the craft knife, cut this out. There we go. And then lift it off. And we put that tip there right there, like this. Right there. So now when I paint it, I know exactly where I'm gonna glue it down at. I have a Christmas ornament I bought, super cheap. We're gonna drop it in here like this, but I wanna go ahead and cut this extra lip off, put in some earplugs, because it does have a high pitch on this Dremel. All right, now it's good. Let's get some sandpaper. I think we just hold this down and sand this. Yeah, that's the plan. Again, I can't really do this until I paint it first. So after I paint this, then I will glue this in and then drop some black foam behind it. But I just want to get the lens figured out. Okay, let's give you a little bit of an update. I went ahead and painted with the silver and went back in with the this stuff, the bear silver, and I was not liking the way it was looking. It just didn't look great. So I ended up stopping, and then it went back and sprayed it down with Rust-Oleum 2X gloss black. I just hit everything with gloss black. Then with my airbrush, I went back in and used my Plaid Effects. This is Samurai Sword. This stuff you thin down with window cleaner. It's great. So I did multiple thin coats and finally got the color I like, so I can show it to you. Like, ta-da, look at that, see? Nice, dark, metallic. Look at that, I love it. This is what I was going for originally. So this all turned out, looks nice. So our next step is, I want to break some things up and paint some things in different colors. I want this inside where the knobs are going to go. I want to do this as a different color. So I'm going to go through and maybe find some Tamiya paint and do that. Well, in the meanwhile, what we're going to do right here is I have these guys right here. I'm going to go ahead and paint this lens black and this band black. I got myself some Plaid Effects. I'm going to do that with a brush. All right, there it is. It's all been masked and painted dark gray. So we're going to very carefully remove the frog tape. All right. I mean, it looks good, of course. Look at that. So let's go ahead and get some Plaid Effects, cover up some of it, and go back over it again with an airbrush. Okay, see, touched it all up like it never happened. Now, let's go ahead and remove the tape. Get some super glue. I'm more likely Zap-A-Gap here. I'm gonna do a little glue around the edges here. Okay. Excellent, perfect. Line her up. That, perfect. And now this guy. I love this is actually from a coffee maker. Well, I think one of those Keurig coffee maker catch trays. Let's peel the tape up on our, this is where the our switches are gonna go. And those guys are right there. You know, I actually have these old, if you guys can see that, these are like Motorola, like little numbers, sticker numbers from the, we used to have these prop phones. And so there's these little numbers on there. I think these would be great. So I'm going to go ahead and take these guys and use those for the dials. All right, there it is now. I have all the stickers in here glued on. And for these guys, I had some thin pinstriping tape, made some notches for that. For the lenses, these are actually camera. This is from my, I'm working on a Colonial Marine helmet, and this is one of the lenses for the camera on the helmet, but I had a mold for it, so I cast these guys up and used that here, and also for the other camera over here. So that's add a little added detail to it. And of course I paint them with flat black and went in with a clear coat for the lens. And here's the battery. Now I want to go into details about this. So our next step is we're going to go ahead and take some webbing and sew those onto the straps. All properly sewn up. Strapped, it's good. Attach our power cable like that. Now attach our power cord to the bottom of the rifle. All the goodies there, and then attach our sight. Now, look at that. The laser rifle from Akira is now done. thank you so much for watching the making of the laser rifle from the anime classic Akira. Again, everybody, this was made to help the Kickstarter campaign for my friend Danikia for making the documentary on this animated classic. Really quickly, she has raised the funds and she's in the process of doing the documentary right now. And I want to take the time out to thank her because I've always admired this, but I never would have built it. I've always kind of looked at it from afar. I went, And then when she did the Kickstarter, I wanted to be a part of it. So I had an idea of making the rifle, which forced me to start making it. And making it was a bit of a challenge, but I had fun doing it. And now I have one for myself because I built two. Again, it's based on the original manga artwork. The anime one was cool, but the artwork from the comic book was so much more detailed. It had a lot more fun matching this. Again, if you guys like this content and want to see more like this, please subscribe, hit the thumbs up, leave comments below. I'll be getting back into making more build videos. Things have been slow for a little bit, but I'm getting back into making more content. So please hit that thumbs up, leave comments below, and I will catch you back next time right here on the Evil Ted channel. Another great way you can show your support, you can pick up some of my merchandise on my Teespring shop.